What is up, everybody? Welcome to Rockem Sockem Power Rankings Week 10. How you guys doing out there today? Me and Scott. My name is Sean. This is my boy Scott. Run the Hurry Up and Trader Clem on Sleeper. How are you today, my friend Scotty?
I'm doing okay. I'm ready to sock you in the face.
Hey, I'm ready to take a sock in or give a sock in, one of the two, buddy, because either way, we are going to be duking it out here for the next few minutes, talking about our top 10 power rankings in the NFL, Rockem Sockem style. Let's get started. All right, we're moving right into our ranking number 10. Scott, you have the Detroit Lions, and I have the Green Bay Packers. All right, our first one is a little duke out. All right, Scotty, who's going to throw the first blow? What do you think of your Lions? Why you got them all the way down at 10?
Yeah, I moved them down this week. I think it was a pretty not a terrible loss at home to the Vikings, but like I said, it was a divisional game. But I didn't like the way they're continuously not feeding the best player the ball in Jahmyr Gibbs, and anytime they don't feed him the ball, they have a hard time winning. So I just pegged him down a little bit. I didn't have him super high the week before. I don't think I did, but so I got him at number 10.
You had him higher. I can tell you that right now.
No,
I think
I had him higher.
But
I had him higher, but there's just some teams that I like better. I mean, some teams that are moving up the board. And like I said, we only have 10 spots. And like I
think
said,
it might have been higher than 5, Scott. I think you might have had him at like 2 or 3.
No, I didn't have him that high.
I don't know. I mean, we're gonna have to double check on that one. Maybe I can get somebody to pull up some. Maybe our person behind the board can.
I think I'm just a little more critical. I'm just a little more critical of the Lions. I want to see him put up 30 points on teams again and move them up that ranking.
Yeah, I mean, I do like your Lions, man. I've always liked them. They're my second favorite team, my NFC team. My mom's family's from there, so I've always had a soft spot for the Lions. And I do want to have them higher up on the list, which I do because they deserve it. But all the way down at 10, in my opinion, Scott, I think that's just too much to ask. Now the Green Bay Packers.
I'm going to go right back to you. Why you got the Packers so low at 10? What the hell's that going on?
Yeah, see, number 5, by the way, my person behind the glass just told me number 5, by the way. So, that's a big drop there, Scott. I'm just saying. Anyway, the Packers, man. The Packers, come on, doggy. You lost to the Panthers first and foremost, all right? Not to say that the Panthers are a terrible team because they're actually playing better than we anticipated. But, I mean, the Bills just romped them like a week ago. And then the Packers come out and they're supposed to be like an NFC powerhouse, like a top 10 team in the league. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? And you let the Panthers come in there and do that to you, hold you to 13 points on offense, make Jordan Love look like a scrub. I'm sorry, man. You barely snuck your way into the top 10. I'm going to tell you that right now. We even had this discussion prior. They were almost out of my top 10. It took a little talking to get me to sneak them back in there just because, in my opinion, man, they looked terrible in that game. So I know you're going to have them here on your list a little bit higher, Scott. So let's find out exactly what's going on with your number 9, because I think your number 9 and my number 9 are the same, if I'm not mistaken. But let's find out. We are looking at your number 9 is the Kansas City Chiefs, and my number 9 is the Kansas City Chiefs. So this is one where we're just going to sit back. This is between rounds, a little ding, ding, get a little cut with cleaning, and just sit back and listen to our trainer tell us how to handle the next round, because we are not fighting at all. We both believe the Kansas City Chiefs belong down at the bottom of the top 10 at number 9. My reasoning is clear, man. I just think that they are not the same team. Kelsey looks like he is not the same player. Their offense doesn't look like it's as in sync as it could be. Mahomes isn't quite putting everything together the way he usually does. It's just seems a little off. Their defense isn't quite as good as it used to be. So until they actually fix that problem, I don't see moving them up. The loss to the Bills put them well behind the 8 ball when it comes to keeping that home field advantage in the playoffs that's been so valuable for them. So I just don't see them being the same team that they were. Scott, you got any kind of different opinion on that, or is it pretty much more of the same?
No, I think if we have the same teams, I don't think we have to spend too much time on it. I mean, I just think the Chiefs just need to run the ball, and until they start running the ball, they're not going to be a top 5 team for me.
Yep, 100%. All right, good to go. Let's move on to number 8. Number 8 is where you have those Green Bay Packers. So we're going to be socking it up on this one, guys, because I definitely do not have the Green Bay Packers at number 8. So who is it? It is your Detroit Lions. Look at that, guys. We literally a little flip and a flop, and you're looking at our two guys on 8 and 10. So, Scott, why do you have the Packers up above the Lions at 10 versus my guys the other way around?
Well, I just, like I said, the Packers beat the Lions head to head, so I got them above the Lions, and then obviously I dropped the Packers down a little bit because losing at home to the Panthers was a game that they probably should have won, even though I think the Panthers are improved. But I got to knock them down a few pegs until they show me a little bit more on offense, especially Jordan Love.
So, and I agree with you, everything you just said, which is why I had them all the way down at 10 where they belong. The fact that you put the Lions under them is redonkulous, in my opinion. Are you looking all the way back at week 1 or something here? Because there's been a lot that's happened since then. And just about, I don't know, a week ago, we had them in the top 5. So the fact that you dropped them all the way to the 10th and still kept the Packers up at 8 is just mind-boggling for me. And I'm sorry, man, but I feel like you just got knocked one back because your head is like wiggling a little bit because your red robot just got knocked around by your ranking of that Green Bay Packers above the Lions. I'm sorry, man. That's just the way it is.
No,
let's see what your number 7 looks like. Maybe you can make it back up there.
So what have you done for me lately?
At number 7, you have the Los Angeles Rams, which is a team I have loved all season, so I don't hate having them in the top 10 at all. I have the Denver Broncos at 7. So we are having a little bit of a difference of opinion here. Spoiler alert, both of these teams are in each of our lists. So Scott will have the Broncos in his list also, and I will have the Rams in my list also. So be ready for that. But Scott, why do you have the Rams all the way down at 7? What's your reasoning behind that?
Well, I didn't have them. I had them at 10 last week, and I moved them up to 7. So they did put a nice little butt whooping last week. So I'm slowly moving them up. Puka, we'll see if he's available this week. He should be. I probably should have him up maybe a tad higher, but as long as they take care of business next week, they'll probably be in my top 5.
Yeah, you should absolutely have them ahead of the team that I have sitting at 7, the Denver Broncos, which obviously you do not, since they're not there below 7 anywhere. So to me, I think the Rams deserve to be definitely up higher than that. I don't understand your point there. I think the Broncos should definitely be below them. Bo Nix, he hasn't proven himself the way a Matthew Stafford has. Sean McVay is a top 3 coach in the league. Any EA Sean out there usually does a great job. Sean McVay's no exception. So I definitely do think that the Broncos belong below the Rams. Not to say that I have anything against them. I like the Broncos. Their defense is phenomenal. They are a great team. I do think they're a player. They'll probably win that division, in my opinion. But I just don't think that they belong above the Rams, which is why I have them at 7 behind the Rams in my rankings. So, Scotty, let's find out if your Broncos are number 6 for you or not. We have you with the Seattle Seahawks?
Yep.
Question mark at number 6.
They cracked my top 10 and they look super impressive. So like I said, to go across the country and beat up on those Redskins or Commanders, however way you want to go at it. But I like to call them the Redskins. Sam Darnold's playing at MVP level. Their defense is outstanding. So I wanted to get them in the top 10 last week. I was still not a believer, but after this week, they're running on all cylinders. So I got them in the top 6.
Well, I'm not hating on your Seahawks being up there, but I really don't like the fact that you got them that low. That's just my honest opinion because you kept them out of the top 10 last week. I didn't like that. Now you're keeping them out of the top 5 this week. I don't like that at all. So to me, Scotty, I think you're just being a big old meanie, and I don't like it at all, not one bit. Moving on to my number 6, this is where I have those Los Angeles Rams, and just because of what we just talked about is why I have them here above the Broncos. Which again, Scotty obviously doesn't, not even next to them. They're all the way up above them in the top 5 somewhere, which is just like whatever. But okay, so either the Rams, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, Sean McVay. That's all I have to say. Let's move on to number 5, Scott. You have my favorite team, the good old Buffalo Bills. Why do you have my team at the bottom of your top 5, Scotty? Is it just because you really wanted to get me riled up right before the final rounds or what? Because you knew this was going to bother me.
Well, I mean, I think they're sitting right where they need to be. I mean, they did beat the Chiefs.
Of course you do. I don't agree. Of course you do.
They did beat the Chiefs, and the Chiefs we have at number 9. So, I mean, was it a great win? Yeah, it was. They still can't stop the run. So, and the Chiefs can't run the ball. So I want to see them beat a team that has a great running game, and then I'm going to move, and then I will move them up. But as of right now, I think they're sitting just where they need to sit, right at number 5.
That's all. I just let's just move on to my number 5. I just can't with you right now. The New England Patriots at number
Wow.
5 is where they should be, Scott. Not
Oh.
not the Buffalo Bills, but the New England Patriots should be sitting
How
at
do you
number
put
5.
how do you put the Patriots below the Bills when they beat them head to head? They're winning the division. I mean, how do you do that? I don't understand. That's a terrible ranking.
It's not a terrible ranking.
Oh
It's
my
a reality ranking, my
oh
friend.
my
Just
god.
because they happen to win the one game, they just haven't played each other again yet. When the Bills will kick their butt the next time that they play each other. So I'm not concerned about that at all. That head-to-head matchup means nothing, knowing that we have another game coming up against them. And the Patriots will not continue to win the games before that. So we will be ahead of them before we see them again. So just so you know, Scott, I definitely do believe that the Patriots belong below the Bills. And this is not a homer opinion. This is an honest opinion, only because of the fact that they are overachieving currently in the NFL. And that is all I have to say about that. Huh. So, number 4, above my Buffalo Bills. Let's find out who he's got. That's your Denver Broncos slot. Are you kidding me, Scott? The Denver Broncos at number 4. You're going to have to do some convincing to get me to believe this
Well,
one.
first of all, they play in the same division as the Chiefs, the same division as the Chargers. They've on a 6-game win streak. They're 4-2 in the conference, 7-2 overall. They got an MVP candidate in Bo Nix. They got an awesome coach and Sean Payton, who's quarterback whisperer. They can run the ball. They can play great defense. And even though Surtain's out, they still get a tremendous defense. So when they get him back, they'll be ready for the stretch run into the playoffs. I love these Denver Broncos. They're peaking at all cylinders, and good luck playing in the Mile High.
Man, Scott. I mean, again, they're top 10 worthy. Top 4, huh? I mean, I'm just so confused by you right now. I don't know what to say or do about this Broncos being ranked that high. I mean, even their colors don't fit up there in the top 4 rankings. It's just unbelievable. So you know what? You can go ahead and leave them right there because this is where the Bills belong, in my opinion. I wanted to put them higher. I did. I really did, but I couldn't. Just not yet. We need a little bit more, just a little bit more out of them to move them all the way up into that top 3 spot like I wanted to. But man, they did a great job beating those Chiefs, didn't they? And I am so happy that it happened. And I think they absolutely 100% deserve to be at least in the top 5 and definitely 100% ahead of the New England Patriots. So you know what, Scotty, if you don't agree with that, that's fine. But by all means, how the heck do you have the Patriots in your top 3? That to me is just mind-boggling.
I mean,
And I'm assuming you've got them here at 3. If you don't, I don't know what I'm going to say.
no, they're
Thank
definitely
you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. All right, Scott. I was afraid that if they were any higher, then I might have to have you checked by a doctor. So at least you got them at 3. You're out of your mind, but you're not medically insane yet.
I mean, how are they not at 3? There's only one team in their division that can play with them. They're 7-2. They're on a 6-game win streak. They're 4-2 in the conference. I mean, if they beat the Bills again, I mean, they're a lock to win that division. So, I mean, Drake May's playing awesome. I mean, like I said last week, I mean, Mike Vrabel's got this team playing awesome defense. And, I mean, they're not really loaded with all kinds of players. They're just winning. So, I like them. So, I like them at number 3. And until somebody goes in there and beats them up, they're staying in the top 5.
Hey, well, you can keep them there all you want, man, but I know they're not going to be continually playing as good as they are right now, and they are taking advantage of a very weak schedule. So don't sit here and try to tell me that they belong above my squad.
Including playing the Bills.
Above the Bills, I have the Indianapolis Colts.
Wow.
They dropped from 1 to 3. They're still in the top 3, but they need to be down below that. All right. I know that you don't agree with this, Scotty, but in my opinion, the Colts definitely deserve to take a hit for the loss that they took to the Steelers. We don't even have the Steelers on either of our lists, and they got beat down by them Steelers bad. So it wasn't just like, oh, we lost a close one. No, they got literally blown up. So to me, they deserve to take a hit for that. And sticking them in the top 3 to me was like, okay, yes, I have to do it. But man, they were this close to being dropped below my Bills. This close, man. And if they don't come out, even if they win next week, and if they don't come out and at least show me something more than just a victory, a nice slight easy victory or something small, then I'm not gonna. I might not keep them in the top 3 even with a win. I'm just saying. So that's where I got my Colts, man. And I know you don't like that at all, do you, Scotty?
No, I don't. I think that's an awful ranking.
I know you do, because I know where you got those guys. I'm not going to talk about it yet, but we're down to your top 2. So at number 2, you have the Philadelphia reigning champion Eagles. Why do you have them at number 2 behind who I assume can only be the Indianapolis Colts?
Well, I mean, they were on a bye, so I'm not really going to move them around too much. And then they actually got the reason why I'm keeping them up there is they just got stronger. Like they always do at the trade deadline. They make moves, they bring people in, and Saquon should have a better second half. And obviously AJ Brown didn't get moved like we all thought maybe he could, and so the whole team's intact and they're ready for that Super Bowl run. So I'm keeping them at number 2, and that could go to number 1 next week. You never know.
I think you might be a week late with that one, but we'll find out here where I stand with that ranking in a few minutes. At my number 2 slot, this is where I have those Seattle Seahawks. Oh, yeah, baby. Hot take time. The Seattle Seahawks are that good, ladies and gentlemen. They are that good. They will be coming out strong every week. They will be somebody to compete with, and they will be a player when it comes playoff time. Trust me on all 3 of those things. They will happen. Barring injury, of course, injury, knock on wood, will always be something to be, changing any of these types of, predictions. But for me, right now, a healthy Seattle Seahawks team deserves to be in the top 3 and at least at 2. Scott, 6, I don't know what he's thinking, but 2 to 3, right in their wheelhouse.
Look how awful that ranking is. So I want you folks to see here how I got Seattle and LA right next to each other, because I think they're both comparable. And look how far Sean has Seattle and LA. He doesn't have LA in the top 5, but he has Seattle in there. So he's telling you Seattle is a lot better than the Rams. So I don't know. I just don't see it.
I do, because their defense is playing that much better.
I think on a neutral field, Sam Darnold will be seeing ghosts in that Rams defense.
Of course you went there. Yeah, are you mad at me because I've been whooping your butt in this ranking, so you got to take it out on poor Sam Darnold, bringing up something from like 5 years ago? Come on, man. That is just brutal to say something like that about the man who's literally playing like he's got MVP potential this season. It's just unbelievable that you would say that about him. So obviously you're number 1. The Indianapolis Colts sitting and reigning at the number 1 spot for 2 weeks for you. I mean, I'm just flabbergasted, man. You're going to have to go ahead and give me your breakdown on these Colts and why you decided to keep them above the Eagles.
Well, yeah, they did come off a loss, but they did play in Pittsburgh, which is a tough place to play. They didn't run the ball very well. To me, I think it was just a one-off game. They're still 7-2, leading the division. They're a whopping 109 point differential, which means they have a tremendous offense and a tremendous defense. They're 6-1 in the conference, and they're 4-1 in their last 5 games. So to me, if they come out next week and have another issue, then I'll obviously drop them out of the top spot. But right now, I just think it was a small blip in the radar, and I'm keeping them at number 1.
Oh, man. You can't go and talk bad about my rankings and then go and leave a team like that who took that type of a butt whooping by a team that's not even on either of our lists, and then just leave them sitting up there like that. I just don't understand that. You know why? Because like you just said, even on a bye week, they always get better. Those Philadelphia Eagles belong to be in the top spot. Had the Colts won, yeah, they'd stay up there above the bye Eagles, because they, what are you going to do on a bye week? But you go and you make a trade at the trade deadline and the number 1 team loses, you absolutely get that 1 seed moving into your next game. So as far as I'm concerned, they deserve to be number 1. And, this is where I stand on my rankings. Scott, this was one of those ones where we both have completely different opinions, and in my opinion yours is horrible, in your opinion mine is horrible, and the time will tell who is moving in the right direction and who is not, because obviously we are on different train tracks. So
all right. Well, you know what, let the listeners know when you guys listen to this podcast, go in the comments and write in the comments on our podcast after you like and subscribe to our channel who had the best week 10 power ranking. Was it yours truly, Mr. Scott? Or was it I talk too much, Sean Clements? Go ahead and put the vote in there. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna argue with that nickname. It's totally true. Oh man, so that's gonna be our show for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. As Scott said, please like and subscribe, and for sure leave a comment and let us know who you think won this round of Rockem Sockem Power Rankings. You guys are the greatest. Join us live on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. for the Fantasy Football Press Box. We are out of here.